Hello and welcome to this week's edition of the Horror Debate. I am Michael Manny, and with me, as always, Rowdy Jeff.
And if you're wondering why we're laughing already, it's because this week we have one heck of a Christmas movie for you. This is Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2.
I thought it was Silent but Deadly.
Yeah.
This movie stunk.
From 1987, man. Did you see those styles?
Oh, man.
Yeah, it was like a flashback, man. That was our era. You know?
1987, yes.
Yeah.
And this movie was starring Eric Freeman's eyebrows.
Yes.
And they actually got top billing over Eric
Freeman, that's
because
right.
every time this guy says a word, his eyebrows bounce up.
It's not a word, it's like a syllable or something, man. I mean, if it's moving like, it looks like the Richter scale up there, dude. What's going on?
But like 55 minutes of it is the first movie, and just Eric Freeman talking about it, you know. Oh, they didn't know what was coming to them, did they? And his eyebrows go.
Can you do that again for me? Do that again.
Doc, you didn't know what
you
was.
You are one freaky mother. You know that?
Damn right I am.
Whoa. Anyway, but yeah, I mean,
and so he's just narrating and showing you the other movie.
Well, and this is what frustrated me because they had enough good material for this movie.
No, they didn't.
Yeah, they did. Yeah, they did. They filled it out pretty well.
This is now, if the first movie didn't exist, we would have said, "Oh, the first half of the movie was a good film," but the second half was.
Wait a minute.
Okay, if
the first part of the movie was basically almost the entire first movie. Okay. Then you moved in, and like I said, I thought they filled it out pretty well.
If they would have taken the second, I don't want to say the second half of the movie, it was more like the second quarter of the movie. Because the first three quarters.
Not the second quarter, it would be like the third or fourth quarter.
Yeah, just like I said, the end story, this is 2 parts. We would have said, if that was just it, we would have said, this is a 20-minute movie that they stretched out to 90 minutes. So at least here, they gave us a 20-minute movie.
But you know what, Mike? Here's the deal. I was entertained. Yes. Okay, I had a great time with this film. How many times did I laugh throughout this film?
Oh, yeah. Well,
I laughed constantly throughout the film.
Because Eric Freeman's eyebrows were bouncing
It wasn't just the eyebrows. It was the absolute overacting on everybody's part.
Punishment.
It was great. You know, Team Punishment in the MMA world, they're going to love this movie. They're probably going to get like an endorsement deal or something for how many times they say punishment.
And like they had 4 different actors playing Ricky, you know, because the kid in the first movie, and then he's like 10 years old and they have a totally different kid.
Right.
And then he's 15 and they have a totally different kid.
Right.
And he's like, what, 20 or whatever.
Yeah. But, I mean, he had a hot girl, didn't he?
Oh, yeah. Elizabeth Kate Han is her name.
Yeah, man, that was happening.
Oh,
there's a lot to like here, you know, once it got going.
As long as you realize this movie is not in the same vein as the first movie.
Yeah.
The first movie was meant to be serious and even a little bit sad, but definitely cool with the violence and the sex.
We stuck with the S theme because we had sad, silly, and it's all these things. It's all these S words put together. You know, it's got a lot going for it once the story kicks in. But if you've already seen the first movie, like say for instance, you were to watch these back to back, Silent Night, Deadly Night, and then Silent Night, Deadly Night 2, you'd be like, oh my God, I just watched this. You know, because I've never seen a movie go back as in depth as this one does.
Yeah, usually like at the Friday the 13th movies, they would show you like the last 5 minutes or maybe 10 minutes of the movie.
Right.
But then all of a sudden the credits roll and you start the new movie.
Yeah.
But no, this film, it goes well past the 1 hour mark, showing you the old movie.
Yeah. So we got a new Mother Superior.
Yeah.
Right? And they tried to disguise the fact that it was a new Mother Superior because apparently she had like gangrene of the cheek or something.
Oh, man.
You know, she had like bumps and stuff coming out. Like, it looked ridiculous.
She looked like Two-Face in the Batman movie.
No, she could have been Two-Face and the Penguin put together. You see that outfit she was wearing?
Well, she's a Mother Superior. She's a nun.
Yeah, she was the same height as Danny DeVito. She's in the wheelchair when she was sitting down, you know. I mean, oh, my goodness, man. I mean, I tell you what, though. As long as I'm entertained, I'm happy. I'm a happy guy anyway.
This movie, let's just say the stupid stick showed up and said, should I hit someone with this?
But it was good. It was good, and you just were waiting to see what this fool did next with his eyebrows.
I mean,
you were waiting to see what he did.
It's like this guy, the cop shows up because, you know, he just killed some dude. He's walking down the middle of the street in a residential neighborhood, and a guy just puts the garbage can down and he blows him away.
Yeah.
And, you know, a car comes driving and he just blows the car away.
But did you love love the umbrella impalement.
Oh, yeah, and then he opens it.
And then he opens it. Yeah, I mean, and then it starts raining.
Good thing. Good thing the guy had an umbrella.
It's like freaking cheese from start to finish, but I love it.
This was definitely cheese all the way. If you thought the first movie was a cool horror film and you really like this one, you're gonna say, "Oh, this is stupid." But so this movie is meant to be silly and stupid.
Well, let me say this: the way it looked was impressive. They did an anamorphic widescreen 16:9 transfer. It was pristine for a movie that came out in 1987. Probably one of the cleanest I've seen.
Wow,
beautiful! Didn't you notice the difference?
But then
we just watched an older movie before that as well, and it looked like crap.
Yeah,
I mean, it was horrible.
Well, this one was probably the
people
DVD.
cared about this movie, and that's why they remastered it the way they did.
Probably.
You know, I mean, what's the point in buying a DVD if you're not going to have, cleaned up video and halfway decent sound?
Probably because nobody makes VCRs anymore.
Well, that's
so if you want to see the movie at all, you got to
do
get a
something
DVD.
with it, folks. I mean, of course, that movie was crap anyway, and I didn't, I don't really care about a remastered version of that, but I just like to see what I saw in this film where you popped it in and you went, wow, this is why I have an HD TV. This is why we have these fancy DVD players,
Yeah, well, just to let you know, I bought the 2-disc, not 2-disc, but two movie DVD. The first one's on side 1, and you flip it over, and the second one's on side 2.
Yeah.
But just remember, most of part 2 is part 1.
Good naked scenes in this one. Did you see the naked scene? It was it was classy.
Well, it was.
Dare I say, close to classy.
Well, almost, but you still couldn't. It was just a side view.
Well, what do you want?
A front view.
You want like the underneath cam? The see-through mattress. What do you want? I mean, they did fine with it. It was
at least
it didn't expose a lot, but it did show enough to be artsy, almost in a way. You know what I mean?
You're saying this film that beats people on the head with a stupid stick and the dancing eyebrows from hell is artsy?
The sex scene was, dare I say, almost artsy for a horror movie.
In other words, they just showed you a side view.
Well, it wasn't. Hey,
it was a PG-13.
I was surprised at how they did it.
This guy grabs a girl, rips her shirt open, and you couldn't see nothing.
Well, that was in her contract, probably.
And then he started. You see the two of them start. No, she's pressed up against him. You can't see nothing.
That was the first thing I said.
And then they do a long side shot, and they just stay right on her.
When he ripped her shirt open,
the first chick,
and I was like, "Wait a minute, we just got gypped." I said that was a defective scene.
Yeah, you
did
admit
not
it. You got
provide the goods.
That's right.
Yeah,
I'm saying part 2 didn't provide the goods. The only goods in part 2 were the scenes from part 1. That's where you saw goods.
Well, okay, maybe as far as the sexual stuff goes, but I actually thoroughly enjoyed this film, and I thoroughly enjoyed the first film. The only thing I didn't like about
second film even bordered on slapstick. Come on, when the guy was being a jerk in the, quote, movie theater, which was obviously the 4-row screening room at the theater,
but
at the studio.
But, Mike, you're missing the point.
You see popcorn flying in the air and a leg shooting,
You're missing the point,
the Three Stooges.
Did you smile throughout this movie?
I was smiling going, oh, God,
this is silly. Did you have a good time watching this movie?
Yeah, because
I had commentary.
Dude, when you're entertained and you laugh and you can't help but have a good time.
This is true. I got a kick out of it, and I liked the first movie. I didn't necessarily like to see the first movie again in the second movie, because that's basically what happens, but overall, I was entertained. I had a good time, and I'm going to give it 4 stars.
4 stars?
I had a good time.
For 60 minutes of a 90-minute film being the old film.
Yes. Because I enjoyed it, and I had a good time. And that's all that matters to me.
Okay.
I mean, it's not even a probably situation. It's not one of the best films out there. But you know what? It was fun. And I think anybody who even closely enjoyed, the first film is going to get a kick out of this one. Well, no doubt.
The first film is more serious and more horror, and this is more slapstick.
Yeah, but you know what?
This is like bordering on Shocker
territory. No way is this bordering on Shocker.
Oh, God, he came real close to saying, you want to drive my Volkswagen.
Well, yeah.
And when he was shoving those electrodes down that dude's throat. I know.
I like Shocker, too, so it's not necessarily the slapstick.
I'm surprised he didn't say that when he shoved those electrodes down that guy's throat. He didn't. He should have said something like
Shocker! Yes, absolutely. Well, you know what? I had a good time with it. Like I said, don't take this 4 stars as being like, oh, this is a great movie. Take this 4 stars as being, you're going to have a good time with this film. I did. I laughed until my chest hurt. I mean, it was great. The eyebrows alone are worth 2 stars. His eyebrows alone. And beyond that, his overacting and his so masculine kind of, overbearingness on everything. It was great.
He would show up at the top of the stairs with the sternest look in his mouth, and then he'd cock his head back and
yes, and that's what I liked.
Shake his head in those eyebrows.
I loved it.
It's ridiculous.
I'm giving it 4, Mikey. What are you giving it?
I'm gonna give it. I would give it 1, but because I was with you and laughing with you, I'll give it 2.
See, we had a good time, right? And that's what it's about. That's what we're about.
But I tell you, if I was alone and midnight, pop this in the movie, I'd be mad.
Yeah, and that's true. And that's something we should specify, too, is that this is probably not the movie that you want to pop in alone and sit there and study as a horror film.
Right.
But if you're around some buddies and you got a couple beers flowing, you're going to laugh. Yeah. And I guess tonight maybe I'm just all about the laughs, Mikey. Yeah. What can I say?
All right. I'm Michael Mandy. He's Rowdy. Jeff, we'll talk to you next week at the Horror Debate.